Hey guys, it's Metra MP36407 here, and I know it's been quite a while, and here I am bringing you another HO scale video. This here is a update, so, you know, new stuff I've gotten, and also, some projects I've been working on and everything, so, yeah, and there's even an unboxing in here, so let's dig in. Alright, so we're gonna start with the unboxing here. Now this package here, I'm not gonna tell you what it is just yet. It's a surprise. But so you could probably tell, came all the way from Australia. So yep. Came across the ocean. And as a matter of fact, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised either, being that it came all the way from the other side of the world, but, it came later, like a week later than the latest expected. So, it's, today is August 23rd, and this was estimated to arrive between the 6th and the 16th, and yeah, like all those days passed, and I was starting to wonder, gee, like, did it get lost in the mail or something? But I got it, so let's take a look at what's inside. Okay, so here's what came in the mail. Newspaper, Australian newspaper. And now for the big surprise. A die-cast 1/87th scale CTA bus. Now, I've been, like, for a while trying to get my hands on some of these. Because these are actually, they're kind of hard to get your hands on. Apparently only so many were made and they were discontinued, I guess. Either that or they were discontinued like a while ago. And, yeah, people are asking crazy prices for these. Like, oftentimes like around $45, $50, sometimes even $60, which, I gotta be honest, I think it's a bit outrageous, but I was lucky enough to find this one on eBay for only $10. And very surprisingly, I was the only one that bidded on it. And I mean, the expensive part was paying for shipping since it was coming all the way from Australia. But hey, I'd say totally worth it. These are Road Champs models, I believe. Yes, it is actually. So, like, you can probably tell, like, the paint and everything, like, it's got, its ouch spots. It actually looks worse on camera than it does in person, but I gotta be honest, it's better than I was expecting, because, like, it looked worse in the photos listed on eBay than it does now. And, I think it's really nice. And the fact that I was able to find one for $10, it's pretty sweet right there. So, yeah, totally worth it. So glad I grabbed it when I did. So, yep, expect to see that on the new layout. Also, here's just a little mini view of it too. So then the destination panel, 125 water tower. So that would be the water tower that's referring to is actually one of the only two structures that survived in the Great Chicago Fire. So, if you're from Chicago, you definitely know what that is. But if you're not from Chicago, yeah, it's pretty interesting to see. Like, still standing today, like, one of the only two structures that survived in the Great Chicago Fire. So, anyways, so, yeah, and then advertisement, Da Bears, the orange line. Yeah, and also too, like, notice it's the older CTA lettering too. And in fact, I remember seeing the old CTA lettering pretty regularly when I was little. That's all faded out now. But yeah. Now, what kind of bus this is, I'm not exactly sure. Um, Part of me wants to say it's an RTS bus, but I don't know for sure. I mean, I'm not good with my buses at all. But, yeah, in fact, I don't really know much about buses. Like, the only ones I could identify are, like, new flyers and, everything. Because, I mean, that's what the CTA uses. And, for the longest time, I just figured this out recently. The, articulated buses, I didn't know they were called that. I just found that out recently. I've always just called them the accordion buses because that's what we call them here in Chicago. Um, but yeah, so it's a pretty nice bus right here. Oh, and also fun fact, it came in a cookie box that's been turned inside out. Looks like something chocolate flavored. So, pretty interesting. Something you don't see every day. So, but yeah. So, I guess next time you'll see this bus, it'll be in the new layout. Okay, turns out I'm filming this over a 2-day period because, well, I was just too tired to film the rest yesterday. And, yeah, getting back to what I said about it being over a 2-day period, that would explain why I have a different outfit on today. But anyways, yeah, and also, before I continue, I just thought I'd show you some stuff. So, some homework I've been working on. I take a drawing class at school, and a lot of the art I like to do is railroad art. So, I have a sketchbook here for class, and what I was supposed to do in this one was illustrate something you cannot control. So, I mean, since like a lot of my artwork is train related and based, just railroad based, I decided to do the fading out of the F-59 PHIs and the overtaking of the Siemens SC-44 Chargers on the Surfliner. Yeah, I even got the evil CEO in there. I thought that would have been a funny, feature to include. But, yeah, and then, still got a long way to go, but, this is, for this one, I got to draw whatever I wanted, so, I thought obviously I just only started, but I thought I'd do I guess a prediction of what an F-59 PHI would look like in Metra, since Metra is going to be getting them really soon. So yeah, thus explaining the gyro light in there. So, but yeah, that's work in progress and everything. But anyways, yeah, enough with the homework stuff. Yeah, I mean, this space, like, I've been kind of using it for, trains, layout projects, homework, as you saw, and like music stuff. But anyway, so I'm getting way off topic here. So now let's move on to some of the other new stuff I got. So as you could probably tell here, I got another Rock Island gallery car. This one's also a Kato. This one here I've had, that's a cab car, and this one here is a trailing coach. But yeah, so my friend Luke, Illinois Railfan 1630, actually gave this to me. And you could probably tell it's missing the windows and like the vestibule diaphragms. They're not the correct ones for this car, but yeah, he said this is how he bought it. He bought it at the Wheaton Train Show. He says he only got it for like $6, but like, you gotta admit, like, that's pretty sweet right there, you know? I mean, especially considering what nice cars these are. And like, really all I need to do is just buy new windows for this when I get around to it, of course. And then I could easily paint the vestibule diaphragms. The only thing with this car is that the shell comes off like real easily, so I mean it won't be a problem for me because like you know, I'll know how to handle it, but like yeah, anyone else for handling it, they need to do it with care. But anyway, so yeah, that's one thing. And yeah, now for a couple of other things. So another thing here is a Bluford Shops Harbor Belt transfer caboose in the orange paint scheme. I don't know if, I don't think this is a prototypical scheme for the transfer caboose on IHB, but it still looks really nice. So I mean, you know, not everything has to be prototypical all the time, as long as it's really nice. And this is also from my friend Illinois Railfan 1630 on YouTube, or as we call him, Luke, because that's his name. But yeah, so this is actually a lease to buy sort of thing. So eventually I'm gonna buy it off of him. Right now he's leasing it to me. So yeah, and also I have another transfer caboose just like this that I've had for a while, except it's in Metra paint, number 2002, the Milwaukee Road Heritage. As a matter of fact, fun fact, this caboose was on the display for the Franklin Park Railroad Days this past summer, so yeah. So there's another thing. Now let's move on to the next thing. So another thing I bought here is a Walther's, actually, yeah, this is the only thing I bought so far. It's a Walther's Platinum Line IHB bulkhead flat car. This I bought for $20 at Zentex Model Trains, which is located on 18th Street in Pilsen. For those who don't know where Pilsen is, it's a neighborhood on the southwest side of the city. So yeah, and that place, the Zentex Model Trains, they have an absolutely amazing selection. May not be the most organized train store, but they have a great selection, and their prices, they're decent. You know, I mean, a little lower than retail, so you know, but yeah, they got a great selection. And yeah, this car has got some pretty nice detail, as you could probably see. This is a Canadian 50-foot bulkhead flat car. As I said, Indiana Harbor Belt, so yeah. This here is a really nice model, and yeah. So that's gonna go pretty good in my train, so yep, another nice choo-choo. So another thing here I thought I'd show off, this is actually a display model. It's a 1/110th scale Amtrak P40 DC locomotive. This is molded out of porcelain, so might be recycled toilets. But anyways, yeah, it's a really cool thing. This I actually, in case I haven't mentioned yet, I actually got this from one of my cousins. So it was an unexpected little gift. He actually got it at work. One of his co-workers just left it out for anyone who wants it to take it. So yeah, he grabbed it, and yeah, it's really nice, you know. Like, I think it's really cool. This here's a box right here. This is made by a company called Erdl Collectibles. This I think was made 1998 is when this was made, and I've never seen anything like this before. And just out of curiosity, I searched them up online. I only found one result, but yeah, it's really cool. So I can't wait to start making shelves around my new layout, and I can display this because it's really nice. Okay, now let's move into projects. First thing we'll start off with, I've actually been doing some more work to my South Shore GP38. So behind the snowplow, I painted silver behind the snowplow. Used to be all orange, but now it's silver. So prototypical to the South Shore Jeeps today. The rest of this engine, though, it's I think it was based off South Shore Jeeps, earlier, because the South Shore GP38s today, they say South Shore Freight, whereas this one here says South Shore Line. I'll be honest, I think I like the South Shore Line lettering better, but as far as like the paint and everything, I think I like the way it is better today, because like the on the back here, it's prototypical to the way the South Shore Jeeps used to be. So like it's maroon. I'll be honest, like I'm gonna keep it like that for the back because I think it looks good that way. But for the front, I think the silver looks better. Cause so this engine, when I got it, I got it a couple years ago for Christmas. It didn't have a snowplow or anything, so the snowplow and like the MU hoses you see and everything, I added that all myself. And then behind the snowplow where it's silver, it was orange, so I painted that myself. In fact, behind the snowplow, I did that pretty recently, and then the snowplow I did like as soon as I got it. But yeah, so there's one thing coming along. Now let's look at some of my other projects. So here's something I actually bought in July, like later July. It's a Walther's Cornerstone kit. It's station platforms, like a downtown terminal. In fact, here's the box right here. Yeah, and I like this kit a lot. It's really neat. In fact, it's gonna go perfect on my layout. In fact, it comes equipped with LED lighting materials, so that's gonna be pretty legit. Now, like the Walther's Cornerstone kits, apparently you have to paint, so all the arches and everything I spray painted red, and then like the roof pieces and everything I'm brush painting a metallic silver. So yeah, it'll look pretty nice when it's done. Now, this is actually based off the platforms at the Los Angeles Union Station, and notice how like the design and everything is. For mine, I'm thinking of tweaking a little to make it, see if I can get it to, I mean, it's not going to be exact, of course, but see if I can try and get it to have that LaSalle Street Station effect. So that would involve, installing the roof upside down to how the, sample picture would display it. But I don't know if that's going to work or not. I still have some figuring out to do, but yeah, that should be pretty nice when it's done. So yeah, that's that. And then another thing I've been working on, I got this for Christmas, is my Dairy Queen Grill and Chill. So the panels that are now red, actually it's supposed to be a bit more like an orange, but honestly I didn't have any orange, and I think it looks really good this way still, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna keep it that way because I like how it looks that way. It looks really good that way too. But yeah, you could probably tell, you know. So those panels, they're separately applied pieces. I spray painted them red too. For a lot of these projects, it's like I'd recommend spray painting because like spray painting, you get a much nicer look compared to like if you were to do like just a regular brush. Some projects though, a regular brush is appropriate for, but yeah. And I know like a lot of people like to use an airbrush. Me, like, I like the effects of using an airbrush, but overall I don't like to use an airbrush because, you know, there's a process of having to clean it and everything, which is a real pain in the gluteus maximus, and you know, it's very tedious, you know. But yeah, as far as this kit, I'm not sure if I showed this off or not. I don't think so. But yeah, the logos, they come, you know, all applied and everything. The one thing I'm not too fond of though is this piece, because here it is displayed on the sample picture. Here it is in person. You have to paint it yourself. And if it were just one color, that wouldn't bother me, but this one is going to be a lot of work because it's, you know, a bunch of different color gray in the stones and everything, so that's going to be a little bit of a project, but yeah, overall, I really like how it's turning out, so, but yeah, and then one last thing, so, this roof here. So one of my other cousins, his new hobby is 3D printing, and he's gonna be helping me with some projects. This roof I actually got from a kit I have lying around, and I'm gonna give it to him to make like a, you know, the structure I'm you know, having him do for me. And this first structure he's doing for me is a Mexican restaurant. This specific one, it's called Cocula. There's a chain of them throughout the south side and even like Calumet City and everything. But yeah, and in fact, the original one is in South Chicago. So yeah, and you know, so the roof I got, but the rest of the building is gonna make me. In fact, he actually needs a roof, you know, for measurements. So I gotta still find a time to get together with him to give him that. So that's pretty much it. I know it's been a long overdue update, but I think that's all. So as far as my layout goes, I haven't made too much progress on it. I mean, I have made some, but not too much. I mean, my layout is at my new house, and I still haven't moved yet. I'm still in my old house. Taking much longer than expected. It's like if we're not busy, it's, you know, the fact that we're trying to fix things with this house before we put it on the market. But anyways, like, you know, yeah, but once I move in, I should be able to make much more significant progress. But that's something to talk about for next time, and hopefully won't be too much longer before my next layout update, but don't count on it. But I'm gonna do my best to try and get it out. But anyways, that concludes things. So thanks for watching, and peace out down the rails.